Welcome to Along the Road. I am hoping that this will be the first of many sort of midweek opportunities to stop and connect sort of one Sunday to the next, to give us the opportunity to maybe uncover a lesson or an application that I didn't have the opportunity to preach, or maybe time, maybe an interesting piece or tidbit, and just make sure that we're continuing to learn, continuing to engage. Maybe it'll be a time of asking some questions or thinking through some things. And this week, as I mentioned on Sunday, I thought it would be interesting and maybe even helpful to us as we ask ourselves the question, what was Jesus like as a teenager? And we have some insight, we have some ideas. We don't have much. We've got one real story and one line in the Gospel of Luke that give us some hints as to what Jesus was like. We do know, obviously, that his character is consistent, and so I just wanted to talk through that just a little bit this morning, and just think about it together. I think it may be helpful if we start at a spot of what are those years like, sort of for everybody, and in light of the fact that Jesus was fully human. He would have been experiencing similar things to what sort of every teenager was experiencing. And so that line in the Gospel of Luke in chapter 3 that says to us that he grew, right? That he was growing, that he was becoming, that he was developing in wisdom and in stature and in favor with God and favor with man. I think it's helpful for us maybe to start at the spot that says, that is true for Jesus, and I think that's true for all teenagers, young men, young women, all of us. As we wander through some of those years, we are supposed to be growing, physically growing, becoming a young man or a young woman. We're supposed to be growing in wisdom, right? In our understanding and our knowledge and our ability to act on the things that we know. We're supposed to be growing in favor with God, in a deepening of our understanding of the gospel, certainly growing in favor with people as we navigate and we figure out how do I conduct myself? What kind of a young person do I want to be? And I think that what kind of a person do I want to be is maybe where I want to poke at the most. I spent a lot of time with teenagers, and I've really enjoyed the last several weeks getting to hang out with the Journey teenagers, and it's been good for me to reconnect with that piece of life and thinking about how I teach and talk. And one of the things that I've discovered over the years is that we're all going through those teen years. We go through a transition, and one of the big questions that we're asking ourselves is, how much of my parents do I want to keep? How much of what they believe do I believe? How much of their priorities am I going to make my priorities? And so as students start to make decisions, right? Am I going to play sports or not play sports? Am I going to keep playing in the band or not playing in the band? Am I going to go away to college? Am I going to go to a trade school? Am I going to try and play sports? And we've got a multitude of things that we're asking ourselves. And even more than that, what kind of a person do I want to be? Am I going to value the same things? Do I have parents who have valued, making money above all other things? I have parents who have valued relationships with themselves, with their, in their marriage and with their kids. And I think we see that in Jesus. And when we see the story that we have, that comes right before that line about growing in stature and in wisdom and in favor with God and favor with man, we see the story of Jesus when he's in the temple. And when Jesus is in the temple, right, he's traveled with his parents to Jerusalem and been separated from them. Neither one of them knows, right? And Mary and Joseph leave to go back to Nazareth, and Jesus stays. And they find him. They come back and they find him once they realize he's gone. And they come back and they find him teaching in the temple. And there, Mary is, I think, understandably, right? We understand why she might be frustrated or questioning, what are you doing? Why are you? And she starts with, your father and I, we've been looking for you, and we're sort of hurt, right? We don't understand. And Jesus's response is, I'm right here in my dad's house. I'm right here doing exactly what my my dad expects me to be doing. And what Jesus was, I think, saying to them and to us is, my true Father is eternal, holy God Father. And this is why I've been sent here. And I think part of his growing in wisdom and understanding, right, was he was figuring out who it was that he had been called to be, why he was even here. And so as he's unpacking the scriptures, the Old Testament scriptures with those religious leaders, and I'm going to speculate, though I'm pretty confident, that what he was revealing was himself. He was revealing that this is who the Messiah was. This is who the suffering servant was. This is what all these Old Testament things have been pointing to. That what Jesus was saying was, I'm picking this Father, and this is who I'm going to be like. This is my ultimate destiny. But it's really interesting to me that Jesus leaves with Mary and Joseph. And for 18 years, he apparently, right, becomes a carpenter, is obedient and respectful and honors Mary and Joseph and the life until Joseph passes. And we believe that when Joseph passed, it was one of those things that then opened the door for Jesus to step out into public ministry. And the story that we read last Sunday that we preached through was that story of Jesus's coming out, right, as his public presentation at his baptism. And Jesus, in that moment of his baptism, gets identified as the Son of God. This is my Son in whom I'm well pleased. And I think that's part of why we see that connection between these stories. And I hope that it makes you excited or interested in what's going to come next, because this coming Sunday, on the 28th, what we're going to begin to look at is the story of Jesus' temptation in the wilderness. And I believe that what we'll see is the testimony of the Father. This is my Son. That reminder is going to put Jesus in the spot where he's going to have the confidence, he's going to have the reassurance, he's going to have the connection that as he faces the temptations of the enemy, he is going to be able to rest in his sonship. And so my encouragement to us this week, whatever we might be facing, may we be choosing the right Father to be like. We all have earthly fathers. Some of us had good ones. Some of us had bad ones. Most of us had sort of middle of the road, some days good and some days not that good dads. May we, above all other things, put our hope, put our rest, put our character confidence in our eternal Father, the one who would save us and redeem us. This is our words along the road. I look forward to connecting with you again next week.